The multi-billion-dollar corruption scandal in Brazil surrounding the state-owned oil company Petrobras has now drawn in the former president, Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva. Police have raided his home in Sao Paulo, and Lula was questioned by police along with two of his sons. The former president, who ran Brazil from 2003 to 2011, was released after 3 hours. Speaking after his release, Lula said he had, quote, nothing to fear. Hundreds of his supporters clashed with the police outside his apartment after he was taken away. Police say there is evidence that Lula was one of the main beneficiaries of the Petrobras scandal, a nationwide scheme of corruption and kickbacks.
Today we are looking at evidence that the former president and his family obtained advantages to eventually perform certain actions within the government. That's still a hypothesis in our investigation. There is evidence of payments, but there isn't a plausible motive for those payments.
Well, the inquiry known as Operation Car Wash is investigating accusations that more than $2 billion was paid in bribes to obtain Petrobras contracts. As well as Lula, dozens of executives and politicians have been arrested or are under investigation. Lula is facing questions over his close ties to giant construction companies, which are thought to have been behind some of the payoffs. One line of inquiry is focusing on whether those funds were used to pay for the development of a ranch and a luxury beachfront apartment used by Lula. Raids have been carried out in the cities where the properties are located. Al Jazeera's Marga Ortigas is following the story, and she has the latest for us.
Former President Lula is no longer in police custody, but the fact that he was brought in for questioning and that his home and several other properties were raided by police early on Friday are being seen as the most politically explosive developments in relation to corruption investigations to do with the oil giant Petrobras, which is state-run. Now, Lula has denied any allegations of wrongdoing, but police say they have evidence to the contrary. He is just one of over 50 high-level politicians who have been under investigation for receiving kickbacks or favors from large companies in return for contracts with the state-run Petrobras. Now, President Dilma Rousseff, who is his protege and successor to the presidency, has yet to officially react to any of the most recent developments. But this has emotions running very high in Brazil. People have taken to the streets, both in support of the government and those who stand opposed to it, wanting to see them taken down.